So tell us what happened with your friend in California.
Well, good to see you guys. You know, have you heard
Zenner, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you
Tom
heard
Zenner.
that? Now get this. Work with me on this. In California, there's a problem where there's homeless people. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
It's out of control.
I think I read it
You know
somewhere.
what else I heard about this too?
me.
You know why it's so bad in California? And this is very serious. Is because other states are giving their homeless population a bus voucher and a food voucher
One-way.
and a one-way ticket to California. So that's part of the problem too. So I saw my friend in West Hollywood on Saturday.
Okay.
And he was talking about the fact that he had to get a new car. And we were going to introduce him to one of our friends. Hey, go see this guy. Great guy. He'll take care of you. By the way, why do you need a new car? And it came up, well, my car started on fire. So then I was thinking maybe he had a defective car, a lemon, something bad happened, something weird, an electrical spark. He's telling us this, just by the way. And this is, now we were at his store in West Hollywood on La Cienega. So this is a very, very, you know the area. It's a very, very popular area. It's very high traffic. It's very busy during the day. So he tells us that the reason he needs a new car is because a homeless person started his car on fire. There was a homeless, now there's a lot of homeless people around there right there on La Cienega.
A homeless person
Started his car on fire in the middle of the day.
What's the motive? What's the reason?
Just because he was walking down the street and tried to light the light pole in front of their store on fire, but that was metal, so he wasn't able to do that. So he took the lighter and he lit the car up. This is not uncommon, by the way, this type of thing.
Is this Middle East or is this L.A.?
Right? It's crazy. And then he said
East LA.
No, and
Middle
when he
East,
talked
same
about
thing.
that, I was thinking, man, that's kind of crazy. Man, I wonder what that looked like. The dude actually had a video because the thing was on fire. The car was in flames.
You have a video of this?
Yeah, there's actually video.
Let's
guys.
see what we
They
got.
showed this.
Let's
You
see
won't
what we
believe
got.
this. It looks like a movie set.
Kai, you got this?
So,
That's your friend's car.
yeah, this is car. I mean,
What is that, a Range Rover? What is that?
it was some sort of
GMC?
SUV, and that's La Cienega.
By the way, that looks like a Porsche, the SUV. Whoa!
Damn.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
That's in front of his store.
Yeah, literally, the store's right there by the yellow, and then that right down there. By the way, right across the street, there's one of the most popular restaurants in LA is a restaurant called Catch LA.
Yeah.
The
Catch.
fish on Melrose. They're opening up a Catch Steak right there across the street, but they can't open it because there's a homeless encampment, because there's one patch of grass that is city property, right? Public property. So then they sent up an encampment there, so the restaurant can't even open. So, when I found out too that other states, cold weather states, are sending people to California, and then no one even talks about doing anything, and slowly it gets worse and worse and worse. But that was just crazy because it kind of hit close to home, knowing somebody that had his car torched. But he is going to get a new car, by the way.
So I got it. By the way, crazy story. No one got hurt.
No.
This kid, nobody got hurt, which
No
is
one's
good
injured.
news. It's
Yeah.
a car. A car, you can replace it with insurance. But what's crazy is the fact that this is happening right now regularly in LA, and it's just part of the lifestyle of living in LA today.
What, the homeless thing, the burning the cars,
The homelessness,
chaos?
the looting. What are you going to do? What are you going to get from a homeless person that has nothing? Go ahead and sue him. What are you going to get? The state's going to give you money? The city's going to give you money? They're about to go bankrupt. So what are you really going to do to this homeless person? They're going to go to jail. That's exactly what they want.
Now they
They
got
want a
home.
place to stay at with food and all that other stuff. Hey, let me light up more cars to get a place to stay at. So I'm getting rewarded to lighting a car on fire. You're giving me a place to live with food and security. There is no safer place than prison. Go to prison. You got a bunch of security people to protect you. And when I say there's no safer place than prison, you're in a place where the only people you have to worry about is what? Inmates.
Sure.
So here you go. Let me light up the car and I'm going to go to a place to live and eat.
Not so safe.
Yeah,
with
and it
the
is part of
inmates.
day-to-day life, and you almost become immune to it. What you see on a regular basis, if you thought this was 10 years ago, you wouldn't believe that you were actually living this life. Now you just think, okay, what's next?
It's normal.
You just continue to accept things.
It's normal. And by the way, we talked about this last week. You weren't here with us. The total number of homelessness in America today is around 580,000 total homeless people in America today. 580. Out of
Accounted for, right?
Yeah, counted for. Out of 580, guess how many live in California?
60%?
160.
Okay.
Not 160%, but 160,000.
Yeah.
Of the 160,000, 60's in L.A. And in the last 12
What is
months,
that,
it
30%?
increased by 20,000 homeless people just in the city of L.A.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And it's all in
unbelievable.
visible areas, too. It's not like they're tucked away in the forest or in the woods or somewhere in a valley.
So I got to tell you something. Kai, can you pull up the tweet I got from somebody that's running for governor? If you go to my Twitter account, I told Sam, I don't know if Sam brought it up or not. Go to my Twitter account and just type in Patrick Bet-David. Go up there. So I get this tweet the other day. Yeah, click on that. Go down. I retweeted. Go down.
From
go
the
down.
major.
Yeah, so not from the major. So I get a tweet. Go a little bit lower. Go a little bit lower. Maybe you should. I thought I retweeted it. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's that far down? You got to be
You're
kidding me.
doing a lot of tweeting, man.
Is that the one? Go up? I think that's the one. Cameras on the houses? No, that's not the one. Anyways, there was one tweet that came out, and I retweeted it. I'm surprised I can't find it. Anyways, so somebody shared the podcast. Remember the podcast we did when I said the state of California needs to eliminate the state taxes, and the way you do it is what Florida is doing, which is a tourist tax.
Tourist tax, yeah.
And California's got one of the biggest amount of tourists that come in every year, and tourism's about to increase. How about you eliminate state taxes and you impose a 15% tourist tax for people that come? So this guy, the video gets shared with him.
Wasn't he running for governor?
The
Isn't his
video
name
gets shared with him.
Major?
Apparently, he is running for governor. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I want to
from
say his
here.
name is Major. Am I wrong on that?
I want to say Major Williams.
Major Williams.
Major Williams. Hang on. Let me just give him credit, because if he is, I want more people to look into it. Here we go. I got it. So, Kai, it goes 2 days ago. It says someone listened to the podcast. Good. It's literally 2 days ago. So Chris Quinton, shout out to him, sends this to me, and he says, a California governor candidate, Major Williams, is adopting Patrick Bet-David's message on how to solve. Wow. Kai, this is, you can't see it. It's on the 11th.
April 11th, right there.
You don't see it? Go a little lower. It'd be great if we
Steph
can pull
Curry.
it up. Interesting. Is it, well, maybe why don't you go all the way to the top that shows the tweets and retweets, like replies. Yeah, tweets and replies right there. See if it comes up there. Go up. 10 hours ago. It should come up here in a minute. 2 days ago. Okay. Well, then it's not showing up on your end. California governor candidate Major Williams is adopting Patrick Bet-David's message on how to solve California taxes, eliminate state income tax, and impose a tourist tax. Unfortunately, California legislators will vote for a tourist tax on top of all the taxes, including income tax property. So he put it on his website.
Oh, yeah, we like that
I'd
deal.
love to
Let's
show this
double
to
down.
Kai. I'm going to send this to you and see if you can figure out a way to put it up. Because if this is the case, I'd encourage people to go look into him. Yeah, it's time to think Major for governor, okay? And he said economy taxes, eliminate state taxes, impose tourist tax of 15%. This model is viable and implemented by states such as in Florida. Our focus is to make sure that California family, small business, and independent contractors are considered for financial breaks. After a disastrous year of misguided decisions from the leadership of the state, our administration will execute a regulatory audit and stable. So anyways, there you go.
It's a great idea. And I'll tell you why. Because if you actively promote the fact that we want more
There it is,
tourists
right
here,
there.
right?
Yeah.
You're going to bring them in. It's going to only help the economy that much more.
The tourists are going to come anyway.
The hotels are going to
Yeah.
come back. The restaurants, the beaches are going to get cleaned up. It's going to be great. It makes. I love the fact that, you know, it was something specific. You didn't just say, hey, raise taxes here. You say 15%. He can easily go run the numbers, do the math on what that means based on average tourism in California. Mac, that might even revive San Francisco, help the wine country. I mean, all of California is a tourism area. I mean, makes
Of course.
sense.
And by the way, here's what the point I made in the podcast a couple of weeks ago when we talked about this. Here's what I said. I said, imagine a tourist is coming to the state, California. You want to go to San Francisco, Napa. You want to go to San Diego. You want to go to
Palm Springs,
Hollywood,
whatever.
Palm Springs. Pick it. It does. You got a million places to go to for vacation in California. You think the customer that's coming as a tourist is going to say, no, I'm not going, the difference between spending $10,000 versus $11,500? Hell no. He's still going to go.
Absolutely.
That's the point. So
Yeah,
why
Look
don't
what
you add
Florida's
that?
doing. Look what I mean.
That's
No
what
one's like, I'm
Florida's-
not going to go to Florida. I'm not going
No.
to South Beach. I'm not going to Orlando
Yes.
because of a tourist tax. They're going to pay it.
But the guy, Chris Quinton, the guy that said, unfortunately, California legislators will vote. Here's the tough part with states like California. Anytime you introduce a new tax, they salivate over it. So if Major Williams, if this is going to be shared with you, I want you to be thinking about this and start talking about it if this makes sense to you, is the following. Whenever you introduce a new tax, what they do is they sit there in the state of California, places like California, New York, Illinois, they sit there and they say, great idea, but we're definitely not going to eliminate state taxes. But guess what? What if we impose this anyway 5 years from now, 10 years from now? So you introduce a good idea, they run with it to add it on top of everything else. So you could say, why don't we add a gas tax that's going to help us eliminate state taxes and lower the state taxes top line from what you got from 13 points, 13.3, let's just say with Obamacare, all that stuff together, bring it down to 6, but let's raise gas taxes. They'll say, no, let's do both of them. So you got to figure out a way to get the voter to understand the difference between the two.
Yeah, and you know what? They've already spent the money. They see that 15%. They've already figured out a way to spend it.
Does your chair keep going down?
Yeah, it does.
Kai, we got to switch.
Okay.
Same thing as last time. Go ahead.
Okay, and you know, so he's got to get ready to figure out how to debate Caitlyn Jenner over this because she might be running for governor too.
Yeah.
It's going to be wide open in California. You know, Newsom is pretty much fighting for his life right now. This recall thing is going to happen. Now, the difference is he's going to be able to spend unlimited funds. There's no limit on what you can spend. So he's going to have $100, $200, $300 million in a war chest to fight this thing. We'll see. But practical makes sense. We need a couple alternatives of people to look at here.
But I will tell you this. Shout out to a guy like him who's running for governor. What this shows, that he's listening. It's the biggest thing, that you're listening to what voters in the state that you and I both love.
Yeah.
I may be in Florida, but I love the state. I lived there for 20-some years. I'd love to see that state get their act together.
And Pat, I will say this too real quickly, is I think people are going to vote for with their pocketbook in this recall election. Forget about saving the environment, forgetting about all the social issues that are out there. Everybody in California has been affected by this. So ignore any polls you hear that Newsom might be okay, that 66% of people want to keep him in there. No one's going to admit it to a pollster ever.
Yeah.
I think he's got a real chance of getting out.
We'll
So
see.
when is this recall election in California?
This fall.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, they haven't announced it officially, but they've got the signatures.
So you're voting for Caitlyn Jenner over Newsom.
I got to hear what she has to say if she runs. I think it'd be interesting.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.